Hey guys, begin with another YouTube video. There we go. I just had to find the present button. Go away. Today we're going to be talking about the types of Lego gun builders inside of the community and just some various different categories of gun builders themselves. So this is just a quick little overview and whatnot. You guys can read that for yourself. If not, please don't go into the comment section and shit all over me if you don't read this, because chances are I talked about it in either this or the slide at the end. So yeah, baseline builders. So baseline builders are exactly as they sound. They're just baselines. They aren't bad at what they do, but they aren't necessarily good at it either. Working features are the bare minimum, but they still work correctly, might I add. The most features that they have, and this is always subject to change, it could go up, it could go down, is the bolt and the charging handle, the working trigger, a removable magazine, a moving safety and fire selector, not a working safety and fire selector, simply a moving one. And the level of detail is average. So that is our baseline builders. Then we have our RMBs, our realistic model builders. These are people who are able to build models that are better in detail, but not necessarily function than baseline builders. I.e., these people have the same amount of features as the baseline builders do, but the detail level is much higher. The amount of curves, sloping, more advanced techniques that are used are higher, though the amount of features on the weapon itself are not. Then we have our HRMBs, our hyper realistic model builders. These guys are the top of the community, and they are some of the best. Function and detail are both on point within the laws of the LEGO system, and the gun operates flawlessly during handling. These are the people that you look up to and you want to be. They have almost every function in a gun possible, and their detail level is the best. There is nothing better than their guns themselves. So in terms of feature, they have the bolt and charging handle independent of one another where applicable. So for those of you who build AR-15 charging handles connected to one another, the charging handle on an AR-15 should not be connected to the bolt carrier at all. It should be separate, so these people actually take that into account. They have the trigger, and then the safety and fire selector that actually blocks the trigger in safety format. The magazine release that locks into the magazine itself so that you cannot grab the magazine and pull it out. A removable magazine, a stock adjustment where applicable, obviously. Field strip, and I just realized one that I actually forgot to put on here is the bolt catch on weapons as well. But again, above all else, you want the field strip. The field strip on Lego guns is one of the best challenges that you can do, and balancing between working features, field strip, and the detail of everything, excuse me, is a very, very hard thing to do, and one of the most impressive inside of the Lego gun building community itself. Model builders. These are people who can build something that looks like the gun but doesn't behave entirely like the gun, i.e., the amount of features on the gun itself aren't there. There's a charging handle on the gun, but that doesn't move. There's a trigger on the gun that might move, but it doesn't reset itself like the standard Lego triggers that we see with the baseline builders, if any trigger like that. In terms of removable magazine, pretty much anyone and everyone can do that, so model builders should be able to do that. And then the detail level is above average, but not above a RMB, for example, a realistic model builder, because their functions aren't where they need to be at to get to the level of realistic uh, model builders, RMBs. Then we get into kind of the differences, a whole different section of Lego gun community, the shooting section. So we have the baseline shooter builders. The BSBs are people who build guns that look like the modeled gun, shoot like the modeled gun, but lack originality in mech design or detail. I probably should have separated detail from that, but basically what it is there's a few different mech designs in the shooting community that are abused over and over and over again. In particular, Jack Street's. Pretty much everyone knows Jack Street's design. A lot of people use it. That's not saying that there isn't originality in the mech designs at all, because a lot of people make their own mech designs uh, for their working guns all the time. I'm simply saying that baseline shooter builders uh, don't use their own mech design. They might use Jack Street's, for example. Features include obviously the shooting, magazine release, trigger, bolt and charging handle, removable magazine, safety and fire selector. Detail level, average. It's not going to be the best of detail, generally speaking, when it comes to baseline shooter builders, unless you are a part of course, the realistic shooter builders. RSBs build shooting models that feature the best of both unique and creative mech design, detail, and functionality. These are the people who are able to take the detail of a realistic model builder and combine it with the awesome functionality and shooting of a BSB. So the features to consider are your bolt and charging handle independent of one another where applicable, the trigger, the safety and fire selector that actually blocks the trigger, the magazine release that locks into the magazine, the removable magazine, stock adjustment where applicable, and bolt catch because that's not on here as well. Though sometimes the bolt catch itself doesn't work in line with the bolt and everything. And then the detail level is great. It's not like a hyper realistic builder because the technical shooting requirements of Lego guns are such that most of the pieces used on the outside require you to have reinforcement and whatnot on it, so you have issues putting detail pieces onto the weapon itself, and you have certain restrictions when it comes to size and all these other types of pieces that you use. But that doesn't mean to say that their detail is bad. Then we kind of get into the lower end of the community. We have our below average builders. Babs are people who try to build weapons and have potential, but fall short of getting anywhere above baseline builders. Our baseline builders are exactly that. They're a baseline. If you don't get above a baseline builder, you could potentially be a below average builder. Features generally include very little to none, and detail level is generally below average. The weapon that you're trying to convey, chances are we can see that it's the weapon that you're trying to build, but it doesn't have the features or the detail level to necessarily put you above a baseline builder. Here we get into kind of the really, really controversial topics. Our copycat builders. CBs are people who clearly copy others and blatantly do not give credit at all. These people I, I go to say that they're very few and far between in the gun community, but pretty much everyone I know has had problems with the copycat builder. It's happened to me. It's happened to everyone that I talk to within the community. Um, and I'm sure you could go look up a million different gun videos and find someone copying someone else's build verbatim, per brick, per function, per mechanism, everything, and doesn't give credit or any type of shout out to the original builder at all. And because it's a copycat builder, the features and the detail level will vary based on whomever they're trying to copy themselves. So that's why features and detail levels say vary. Then we have the reconfirmation builders, which to some people can go either way. It can be a good or a bad thing. Reconfirmation builders to me are a little bit of a good thing because they prove that if it's one of my models they're copying, it works in real life. However, the difference between copycats and reconfirmation builders is that these people actually give credit or had permission to use the original builder's work. That's the difference between a reconfirmation builder and a copycat, because I don't want to label people who build other people's stuff with permission or give credit as copycats, because that's a derogatory term, which is why reconfirmation builders is a thing. And again, their features and their detail level may vary. So that's pretty much it for this YouTube video. I'm pretty sure I didn't catch all the categories or all the different sections of the community in terms of building, but I just wanted to kind of put out this list so I can remember these types of things because I don't really remember it, which is why it's there. And that's where I'm going to pretty much end it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. See you guys later.